now. So welcome, Neil. Thank you so much for coming along and being a demonstration of our RCT, Rapid Change Technologies. Today we are doing a process called root cause techniques and knocking off one specific limiting belief that has potentially been holding you back. And so big welcome, Neil. How are you today?
Yeah, good. Considering I'm in lockdown, but other than that, I'm doing well.
So Neil's in Melbourne at the moment, and so we thought we'd help him break out. He's a bit of a troublemaker, so we're going to help you break some of your rules, some of those limiting decisions and beliefs. So tell us, what are we working on today?
Yep. So I guess the main one that came to me was that I'm not good enough. That was the kind of the primary one.
Uh-huh. So I'm not good enough. Now, if you think about that, I'm not good enough is a comparison, okay? The word enough has us go into a bit of a comparison. So do you suffer from comparisonitis? Would that be fair to say? I know a few people that suffer from that. But comparisonitis is an interesting one because it can sometimes paralyze you around the good opinion of other people. Can you relate to that at all?
The paralysis, definitely. Yeah, yep. I'm continually comparing.
Yeah, and was that a bit of a pattern for you growing up, kind of competing and comparing?
Certainly. Yeah, I reckon I would often just look at other people, whether in my school or surrounding, and see what they were doing. Definitely, yeah. Whether it was conscious or unconscious, I probably was doing it. Everything I did.
Now, the thing about it, let me tell you about this. The thing about the I'm not good enough pattern, it's a double-edged sword, because when you feel not good enough, what can also happen is that you can put more energy in. And you can, in some cases, be driven by that. And so with every wound, there is often a secondary gain for this. And this is what you've got to look at, is what is the purpose of holding on to something like this? Like, you've got to think about it. Out of all of our limiting decisions, negative emotions, our unconscious mind at some point has gone, this is the best choice. Out of everything that I have on offer right now, this is the best choice. Remember, the unconscious mind is taking the path of least resistance. And so holding on to a negative emotion, holding on to a limiting decision, at some point, our unconscious mind's gone, this is the fastest way to get us a specific result. And so we'll hold on to this. And so if you look at it, like, our conscious mind is driven by wants. I want $1 million. I want a relationship. I want health, or whatever it is. But our unconscious mind is driven by needs. The needs for security, the needs for certainty, the needs for connection, the needs for growth, contribution, the needs for significance or a feeling of importance. And it typically works in a hierarchy. And so when our conscious mind wants and our unconscious mind needs are not aligned, that's when we have this kind of mismatch. Mm-hmm. And so I would say to you, what do you think the purpose of holding on to the pattern of not feeling good enough? What does it give you?
I guess it's like an out in a way.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
An out. Tell me more about that. What's the out?
I noticed it in many things, even at the gym, for example. When I could go to the gym, I would go and I would be working out and everything. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. And then I'd look over and see someone that's like a year advanced and looking, six pack, and I don't know, what's the point? Mm-hmm. I'm not there yet. So it's like, it's then I'll go and have a bag of chips or something.
Yeah, because the bag of chips in that moment gave you what?
Oh, it's like a comfort or like a reward in a way. Like it made me feel good.
Yeah. So it had you potentially feel safe. It gave you an instant kind of reward.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to go to the gym and smash yourself for 12 months. So your unconscious mind, think about that. Your unconscious mind's clever. It's like a little kid. It will take the path of least resistance. and go, well, the chips is going to give me that emotional response. Because, by the way, you'd probably get really, really fit. And then what would you do? Probably go and run amok. So the unconscious mind's going, oh, well, we'll just go and run amok straight away. It's like a little fucking troublemaker, right?
Yes.
And so once we uncover all of this, it gets really interesting, because you can go, like, when you get stuck in the wound, you can go, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. But then when you get out of it and you observe it and you see the mechanics of it and you don't take it personally, like Eckhart Tolle talked about the power of now, which is observing the process. When you observe the process and the beauty of the process, you're like, it is a cheeky little thing, my unconscious mind, and it's just wanting to get its needs met in the fastest possible time frame, which is the shortcut. Okay? It's like driving your car. Imagine this, you're driving your car, you go the same way. Think about it. You go the same way every single day. And then one day there is, like, you're running late for work typically. This is what happens. And it might take you like an hour to get to work or something like that. And you're running late this particular day, and then you see the dreaded detour. And then instantly you have this reaction like, fuck, it's going to take me so long. But then imagine you take this detour and you get to work in like 45 minutes, and suddenly you found a shortcut. How long before you take that shortcut? And the answer is every day.
Yeah.
So your behavior shifts instantly.
Yep.
And so your unconscious mind has linked the pattern, potentially, I'm not good enough, to being a bit of a shortcut, a bit of an out. Is that making sense? Because let me ask you this question. What if you were good enough? Or what if you are good enough?
Then I'd have to do it. Like I'd have to.
That's it. Do what? What specifically?
Anything, I guess. Like yeah, I think whatever I see it in very many areas, but like whatever it is, it's I just have to kind of keep doing it and follow through.
Yeah, and look at your body language when it comes to keep doing it and following through. You're like, fuck that. Sorry for swearing, everybody, by the way. I'm wearing my Troublemakers t-shirt. So in this conversation, what starts to happen is you can't kind of hide from the fact that the reality is that there's a part of you that thinks doing it is you're associating pain to doing it. And you're looking for the shortcut because you're avoiding something when it comes to following through. And the easiest way is to hold on to the pattern. Not good enough. It's a convenient excuse. Oh, well, I'm not good enough anyway. And what we need to do, and notice it in your language, right? You go, oh, it's with everything that you do. Well, it's not with everything you do because you probably brush your teeth.
Yep.
You got dressed today. And I know you can't get to work at the moment because you're in isolation, but typically you'd probably get to a destination. So what that means is that you're following through probably on, like, typically a person will set and achieve over 100 goals every single day. So if you look at it from that perspective, you're probably following through on things more often than not. Yep. Would you agree?
Yeah.
There's just probably a few things that are potentially outside of your comfort zone that you may not necessarily be following through and using the I'm not good enough pattern as an excuse not to follow through. But the challenge with the I'm not good enough thing is when you start to use language like all the time, then it becomes this global thing.
Yep.
And so what I want to do is kind of chunk down and get specific. And I want to ask you the question, this I'm not good enough pattern, where is it showing up most? Is it around career? Is it around health, relationships? Let's choose one. I know the pattern will come in and go, oh, every area. But let's just choose one. Yep. And maybe the one that you're avoiding the most.
I'll say career.
Career. And how does that pattern show up around career? Let me ask you another question. If you congruently felt good enough, what would you be doing differently around your career?
I wouldn't really care what other people thought. I would just, I would just kind of do things without really giving a shit about what the other people might think or different reactions. And I put a lot of too much energy into that.
Okay. And so specifically, remember, we're going to chunk down. When you say other people might think, there's probably one or two people. Well, tell me the main one. And you can change their name if you want for the purposes of this video.
Yep. Okay. I'll change the name. I'll say Diane.
Diane. Okay, cool. And so at this point in time, when it comes to your career, Diane's opinion, is kind of feeding into this pattern of not feeling good enough. Is that correct?
100%.
100%. And then let me ask you this. What would you be doing differently if you didn't give a shit? Your language, by the way.
What would I be doing differently? Do you mean?
Yeah. If you didn't care what Diane thought, tell me what behaviors would be different. What would you be doing differently?
I'd be communicating around it differently. I would kind of talk about what I'm wanting to do.
So you'd speak up, is that correct?
Yeah, I'd speak up more. I kind of keep things to myself.
Awesome. So you would be speaking up more to Diane, is that correct?
Yeah, and then as a result, anyone.
Awesome. So what if we focused on Diane? Okay. And when it comes to Diane, she's a bit of an authority, is that correct? More of a, how do I say this? Something on my shoulder.
It's hard to, I suppose an authority, but not a constant authority, an unconscious authority. It's like, no one doesn't tell me what to do. It certainly does tell me.
But she's influencing you, is that correct?
Yes.
So therefore she's probably a bit of an authority in terms of your unconscious.
Okay.
See, the challenge is that if you listen to Diane, you're on Diane's path, not your own. Okay? And so what I want to do is a little technique to be able to loosen the grip on Diane, okay? or whoever it is, but Diane is a pseudonym at the moment. So can you hear her tone of voice?
Mm-hmm.
Now, which side is it? Is it your left or right?
It's my left.
Yeah. And when you hear her voice, how do you feel?
Just frustrated and frustrated and exasperated, annoyed.
And what part of your body do you feel that in?
My chest, like here.
Yep. And anywhere else?
So my throat.
Yeah. So it starts here and in your throat, and it prevents you from communicating your truth because there is a whole story around that. Take a deep breath in and out. So you can hear Diane's voice. Is that correct? She's on the left-hand side, and then it starts in your chest, and then you have a blockage in your throat. Is that correct? Okay, cool. What I want you to do is change the tonality of Diane's voice into Alvin and the Chipmunks. And you can hear, like, what type of things would Diane say?
That's difficult. Or I don't know. Like, what about X? What about Y?
Would she sometimes say, well, what would so-and-so think?
Would I say that? Or
would Diane say, what would so-and-so think?
Not what so-and-so think, just more like what if it doesn't work out, or what.
Right. So she kind of goes to worst case. Is that correct? Uh-huh. So Diane's little voice is like constantly reminding you of the worst case scenario. Interesting. So I want you to imagine Diane's voice as Alvin and the Chipmunks on your left-hand side. Can you do that for me?
Yep.
Make sure you can't do it. Don't listen to the Chipmunks right now. And you can hear this voice of worst case, and it's this high-pitched squeal. Okay, and now what I want you to do is move Diane further into the distance behind you. And you can hear the chipmunk trying to scream. And really just hear the chipmunk's voice. Can you do that?
Yes.
Now notice your body right now. It's just shifted. Your back just went straight. Your breathing just changed. Now, what emotions are you feeling in your body right now?
I think a bit more sort of, I suppose, calm, clarity.
Awesome. Now what I want you to do is imagine someone who is positive. Imagine their tonality. Imagine their voice. Okay? And imagine someone that you just hear their tone and you believe everything they say. Can you do that for me?
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine what that voice would be saying. What would that voice say instead?
Do it.
Do it. And what side is that voice? Is it on the left or right-hand side?
I'd say it's centre.
It's awesome. Turn that voice up louder. What else would this voice say?
Just embrace it all. You're good enough. Yeah.
Awesome. And notice Diane in the background is like a chipmunk trying to get hold, trying to be heard right now, and you're just laughing at it. And now what I want you to notice is, have you ever like had a friend and you hear their voice and you just start laughing because they're so full of shit?
Yep.
Awesome. Can you now shift Diane's voice into that tonality? So there we go. So she's transitioning from the chipmunks now to that friend. We just hear their voice. You just start laughing. And just imagine that tone right now. And imagine Diane, what she would normally say around the worst case, and you can hear your friend's voice, and you just don't believe a word they say. You just start laughing. Can you hear that?
Yep.
Awesome. And now notice this voice that you look up to, you really trust, is getting louder. What is that voice saying? Just
keep going. You're doing great. Like, I believe in you.
Awesome. So turn that voice up louder that's in front of you. And then notice your friend in the background is trying to get attention. See, Diane has had your attention up to this point. Now you're changing the voice that you're listening to. And that voice that you're listening to in front of you is getting louder and louder, and you can feel it. And so now what I want you to do is I want you to shut your eyes, and I want you to think of this pattern. So just shut your eyes. I want you to think of this not good enough pattern, but more specifically not being able to speak up. And can you feel that in your body? It might be hard to get back, but you've done this many times, specifically around career and not being able to speak up. Can you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And is it starting in your chest again, that feeling?
More in my gut.
In your gut. Uh-huh. And again, that's your power center. You're either powerful or powerless. So I want you to intensify it as much as you possibly can. You're about a 5 out of 10. Take it to a 6. Take it to a 7. Take it to an 8, a 9, and make it 10 out of 10. And as you intensify it, what you may notice is a memory just starting to pop up. What was the root cause of this emotion? And just notice, is a memory popping up now? Yep. How old were you? First number, don't even worry about it. 10. How old, sir?
10.
10. And who else is involved?
Diane.
Yep. So you're age 10 and you're looking through your own eyes, or can you see yourself in the picture?
I'm looking through my own eyes.
Yep. So what I want you to do is step out of it and see yourself in the picture and see Diane. Can you do that for me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I want you to float high, but notice there's a big part of you that wants to hold on to this. Can you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to float up higher and higher and see yourself in the picture, see Diane. And as you float up higher and higher, is the emotion starting to drop away a little bit?
Mm.
Yep. And now move further back into the past. And what I want you to do is notice who you were before this pattern. Who were you before?
Mm-hmm.
This pattern of not being able to speak up.
I was just quite easygoing, funny.
And notice your voice back then. Awesome. Because something just shifted all over your face just then. And as you go back there, your voice was louder. And so what I want you to do is you notice this event with Diane. It's time to get some learnings. What do you need to learn here to release this pattern? See yourself in the picture, see Diane.
That it had nothing to do with me, really.
Yeah, there you go. And you just took the easy way out. Would it be fair to say in this situation?
You mean I took it on board?
Yeah. Well, was it potentially the easy way out for you? Like it's just pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the easiest way was to what? Back then.
I blame myself.
Yeah. And by doing that, it was the fastest way potentially for you to feel safe. Is that correct?
It avoided
conflict. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. So the easiest way was to give up in that situation.
I believed it.
Yep, exactly. And so what's happened here is when you make it about yourself, you typically take on board other people's stuff. And this is a real challenge because you can be on someone's goal plan for the rest of your life doing this instead of your own.
Mm.
And some people say, oh, hypnotherapy doesn't work. I'm like, yeah, it does. The minute you take on board a suggestion from someone else, you can carry that and be on their goal plan. And this is the amazing thing when I work with people. I'm like, they wake up and they go, oh my God, that simple conversation, I've been on that person's goal plan ever since. I'm thinking about the worst case scenario and I've been on that. Oh my God, it's time to get off that. And so as you go back there, and again, go back to who you used to be before that. And notice your true voice. This is the thing. When you listen to your true voice, you get on a true target. When you listen to a false voice, you get onto a false target. So just make your voice louder. And then as we come back into this event, what do you need to learn to release this pattern easily and effortlessly?
It's not my shit to deal with. It's
your voice should change, by the way. This is your true voice right now, my friend.
Yeah, it's just got nothing to do with me, to be honest. It's
and And the thing that I want to say to you right now is when you make a joke of it, then suddenly the whole just drops away. And this is what happens when you're like, oh my God, that's your stuff. Don't put your shit on me, and you make a joke out of it, because that's who you really are. It's that joke. Yeah. And then it dismantles the whole thing, and you can just see that. At age 10, see it. And so what do you need to learn here to loosen this grip and have it be gone?
That it doesn't matter what other people think or say. That's got generally, well, it's got nothing to do with me, because I'm not them in a sense.
Totally. So what I want you to do is float into the 10-year-old you, relive that event, and just check, are those old patterns of worst case scenario, fear, all that stuff there, or is it gone?
No, it's just like
completely gone, hasn't it?
a bit of a laugh, to be honest.
Awesome, because that's what we've given you access to now, is in those conflict situations to now access comedy and fun and creativity and really access who you really are, because that's who you were before this pattern. And as you start to grow and you'll start to see this, you'll just laugh at these conflict patterns and go, oh my God, I can't believe I was on that person's goal plan. Can't believe I listened to this shit. Just like, that friend that you hear their voice, and you're like, oh my God, not this again. But then your true voice will just start to grow. That voice that was in front of you, that true voice, you hear that tone, you're like, yes, that's who I really am. And as we turn the volume up on that, let's come back. As we come back, I want you to notice all the other events along your life where you took on board some other person's shit. And now the events will just pop up. The right ones will just pop up. And then as you come back, you'll just start to probably laugh at this because you used to listen to this shit and notice all these events and gathering in new positive learnings and new realizations as you kind of unhook yourself from this. And you might see all the opportunities now to be able to laugh and have fun. Whereas before, you were kind of shrinking as a little 10-year-old. Now, there is this powerful Neil that is just like laughing at this shit. And like, watch me. And you may even notice, like, when people get triggered, you like the chipmunks again will just pop into your mind, and that friend of yours that you just do not believe a fucking word they say will just pop into your mind. But then that true voice that's in front of you, it's often the answers are right in front of you, will just get louder and louder and louder, and suddenly you'll just start to have fun. Because you think the greatest entrepreneurs, what do? They have fun. They're cheeky. They're troublemakers. That's how you play the game. All conflict is an opportunity. A conflict is a dance. It's an opportunity to know the truth, and it's often an opportunity to have fun and be creative. And so gather all of this as you come back to now. And when you are back to now, take a deep breath in and out. Welcome back. Take a deep breath in and out. Now what I'd love you to do is think of Diane.
Okay.
And there we go. Awesome. Did everyone see that? Different emotions now that we've got access to. Now what I want you to do is shut your eyes again. We're going to go into the future. It's time to create your future now. So shutting your eyes. And I want you to imagine this pattern is like a snowball that is rolling down a mountain and it's just picking up speed. And so notice who you are in the next 6 months and how you are speaking up and how you're probably doing it with comedy, with cheekiness, and how you're having fun. And notice when people are around you, you're not taking it personally anymore. You're like, oh my God, that's your shit. And you're just having more and more fun. Now notice with this energy, you're bringing new people in and you're having even more fun and you're being even more creative. And I want you to go out 12 months in the future now. Can you see yourself 12 months in the future, who you've become with this pattern and how you're leading and probably you're helping people with this same issue and how creative you are. And what I want you to do is float into your body 12 months into the future, look through your eyes, see what you would see, hear what you would hear, and feel. And again, feel that energy inside of you. And imagine that voice that was in front of you was just getting louder and louder and louder. You can't even hear Diane or any of the chipmunks or anything like that. Can't even hear them anymore because this voice is so loud. And you're listening to this and you're making decisions from this voice, and it's getting louder and louder. You're about a 5, take it to a 6, take it to a 7, take it to an 8, take it to a 9. And now what I want you to do is double the intensity and click your fingers. Ready? Take it to a 10, double it and click your fingers. That's it. Take a deep breath in and out. Now make that voice even louder that's in front of you. Double the intensity again and click your fingers. That's it. Take a deep breath in and out. Welcome back. Awesome. And all you need to do is just click your fingers. There we go. Awesome. So what are you noticing that is the difference, that makes a difference right now?
The difference in I want to say how I perceive it. It's I just have this cheeky monkey thing. Like, I've become obsessed with that recently. My cousin's designing a tattoo for me. I'm going to get it on my
awesome. I love it.
On my arm.
So now what we've got to do is set some tasks. One of the things that you want to do when you do some mindset work, you need to take action straight away. The reason we do mindset work or root cause techniques is so you can take action as fast as possible. Mm-hmm. So what I would love you to do is set a task. So one thing that you could do around career that would have you go, yeah, this has really worked.
What can I do?
Let me ask you this. When you're sitting there like that, do you have an objective around your career at the moment?
Do you like a goal?
Yeah. That's a no. That's a no right now. So my task for you is to start to set an objective around your goal. I'm sorry, your career. And let's go big picture. Let's look at like a 3-year plan. Where do you want to go? See, often what will happen is when people don't know what they want, they'll just stay stuck in this process. But what we've done is just switched on some leadership inside of you, which is listening to a new voice. So my task for you is this. I want you to set an objective around career, and I want you to listen to that voice that's right in front of you instead of Diane. That is your challenge. And could you share it on our Facebook Troublemakers page? Because that's a great thing. Because when you set an objective and you share it, you have leverage, especially when you've got this pattern of the good opinion of others. That'll feed right into this for you. How's that for a challenge?
Yep. So a 3-year one, did you say?
Yeah, 3-year career objective. Now, it doesn't have to be in the boundary conditions of career. I want you to go big picture. Imagine you're listening to that voice right in front of you, and then we can start to cause trouble. Once you have an outcome, once you have an objective, then we can start to be disruptive. Making sense?
So in all areas of life, not just the career? Whatever
comes out into that. But what we worked on today is career, so there's something around career. But that's what I would say to you is that when you're sitting there like this going, I'm not sure, that tells me you're not focused on what you want. You're focused on what you don't want because you've been listening to fucking Diane for too long. Okay, so we've got to start to listen to what's right in front of you because guess what? There could be opportunities right in front of you. You're not seeing them because we've got to get you to listen to a new voice that's right in front of you. Okay? And so that is my challenge for you is to set a 3-year objective, share it with our group, okay, and share your journey because as you listen to this voice right in front of you, you're going to start to take bigger action. You're going to start to be a troublemaker. And just imagine that. Imagine that voice that you used to listen to drops away, and that you start to enjoy stepping up and being disruptive. You start to actually enjoy triggering the Dianes of the world and showing them and going, you know what? It may not be truth for you, but watch me. Making sense?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, that is our intervention for today, and I just want to say congratulations. How quick was that? We combined multiple interventions on that one, loosening the grip with some tonality, and then getting into some root cause techniques. And this is life-changing. This is just the beginning. This pattern is going to grow. So again, congratulations, mate. I'm so proud of you. And guys, if you're listening to this, make sure you jump on our Troublemakers page, our Facebook group, and watch Neil's journey from this point onwards. But in all seriousness, great job today. Great demonstration. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
I'll see you soon, buddy, okay?
Okay. Cheers. See you there.